What's up, my reseller friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I thrift to resell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And today's video is all about complaining. I am in the mood to complain today. So if you are new to my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. I super appreciate it. But I will let you know that most of the time, I try to be a very positive channel because I am a positive person. And I do actually really love reselling and I love eBay, like a lot. But every once in a while, I have my days where I am so frustrated. Today is one of those days. So I just feel like I just need to vent to y'all. And I think that some of you will actually relate to some of these things that I want to vent about. But if you're the type of person that doesn't like negative videos and is like, well, if you don't like eBay, then don't sell on it, blah, 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 blah. If you're that person, I'm just letting you know now this video is probably not for you because I'm going to complain. But if you like to hear complaining, then this is going to be a great video for you. Guys, life, I'm telling you, it's like 1 minute you're on top of the world and everything's great. And then it's just like the next minute, it's just like everything just like falls apart. And that's where I'm at today. It's been a tough week. Last week was spectacular. I had such an amazing week. I went to Disneyland with some of my friends. I went on this really amazing women's retreat in San Diego. And it was just a really great week. But my husband got sick on Monday and then everything's just been like, oh, since then. And I don't know if this happens to you when reselling or just, I guess, life in general. It feels like when it rains, it pours. Like, it seems like I only get like returns and weird requests and bad experiences with buyers and stuff when my sales are already slow. Like, is it just me? Like, why does it feel like I don't get a lot of returns? So I will say that I don't get a lot of returns. So I don't want to make it sound like, you know, like this is something common, because it's not. But when I do get them, it seems like it's always when my sales are already slow. It's like kicking you in the butt when you're already down. Just frustrating. And okay, so first thing that I want to talk about is something that I woke up to this morning. I already went to bed feeling super discouraged because my sales have been down, and it's like they were doing really great for a while and then they were down and then they were great again and now they're just down again. It's just, I feel like it's just been so inconsistent. And I tried changing things up. I tried doing this, tried doing that, you know, and it's just like, I feel like the harder I'm trying, I'm just making it worse for me. So I think at this point, I just like feel like I just need to leave things alone and let it balance out, hopefully, and maybe that will fix it. I don't know. I'm just going to keep trying my hardest and working my hardest and going from there. But I woke up to a message from a buyer. Now, I don't want to give out all the details on this because no feedback has been left yet, and it's just not like fully it's mostly resolved but not fully yet. So I'm not going to give out too much detail because I don't know, I just have like this paranoia that like someone's going to reach out to my buyer and tell them that I made a video about them, or I don't know. It's so I'm just not, I just don't want you guys to know who it is, basically. Not yet, at least. So this person had bought something from me, and this is a vintage item. I'll leave it at that. It's a vintage item. This item is over 40 years old. And it wasn't in the best condition. I posted so many pictures. I mean, I could have used up all 24 pictures available to list on this listing. I'm pretty sure I did. And my description was very detailed explaining this item. I do not want to try to upsell something just to sell it or try to hide certain things about my items. I'm very honest. I offer returns. I don't want people to buy something and return it. So because of that, I'm very transparent in my listings about the condition of my items. So she messages me basically telling me item was not described. She was very unhappy and she wants to know how to go about returning. So I let her know that I'm very sorry she's not happy. And then I told her that all the things that she was concerned about, that I did put that in the description. And then I said, but I do understand that sometimes that can easily be missed, because that is true. If someone is purchasing on their phone, they will not see the description unless they click on the link that says see description. And I hate that about eBay's app. It's not like that on Mercari. It's not like that on Poshmark. If you're strolling and looking at an item, it's so user-friendly and they don't like focus so much on specs, right? So there's not a lot of specs you have to fill out for those platforms. So it's not like overwhelmed with specs and overwhelmed with all kinds of other like information and details. It's very straightforward and they see the description right there and there's a place where they can easily send a message. I really wish that, even though I don't want eBay to be Poshmark and Mercari, like I just wish that eBay can steal a few little things from them to make their platform much better, because they do some things that I feel are much better. And I know a lot of other resellers feel like this too. But anyways, I understand you got to click on that link. And that's why I like to post a lot of pictures, because I know that it's likely that the buyers are going to be looking at the pictures and not so much the description. But I did put in the description. I did put in the pictures. But anyways, that's besides the point. She did not realize it or didn't know or whatever. So I just let her know. But I mean, you absolutely can return it, not a problem. So then she responds back and she's like trying to say like she doesn't know how to do the return. And I think it's so funny when like buyers think that we are eBay, that we have control over like these types of things, right? Like we're tech support or something. So I just sent her a link that I just go on to Google and put how to do a return on eBay. First link that comes up, copy paste, send it to her. I mean, it's not that hard, right? So I sent her that link and then she responds to the link. She's like, well, it's not working because it's not showing up as a purchase. So then like we're just going back and forth and I'm just like explaining to her, well, normally if you can go into my eBay, you can find your purchase and you can go in there and there will be some link in there somewhere that tells you that has like a link to open a return. And she says, well, it's not in my purchases. And it's like, I kind of feel like that's BS, because if that's the case, if it wasn't showing up in purchases, then how are you able to message me about the item? Because you know how if you go on to like an item and you message the buyer or seller about that item, like the little picture of the item will show up so you know that that message is connected to that item. How was she able to pull it up to message me? So I'm kind of like calling BS on this, but of course I'm not saying that, but I just told her, I was like, I'm really sorry. I can't open up a return on your behalf. Like that's just something that eBay doesn't let you do. And I'm like, you're probably just going to have to reach out to eBay tech support. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. And then she responds back. Oh, no, she doesn't respond back. And then the return's open. So it's like, oh, you were able to open a return. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes there could be two types of buyers. There could be the buyer who is like fishing for a partial refund, or they're fishing for like a full refund and they just want to like keep their item. But then there's also that person that legit just isn't happy and doesn't want to pay for the item because they're not happy with it, but at the same time they don't want to return it. I'll give you an example of that. So I had recently ordered No Doubt vinyl on Target, and it was like this huge ordeal. I'm not going to talk about it again. I talked about it in my live video. It just came out, so I'm not going. Long story short, I got the vinyl and it was totally like bent. They shipped it in like a box, not a vinyl box, like an actual big box that was like this size. They put the vinyl in there, and of course it came totally damaged. So now I have to open a return and order a new one and go through all the process. And it's like, dude, I'll do the return, it's fine. But at the same time, like, part of me is like, I'm irritated. So it's just like, I don't want to have to go through the problems of having to go drop it off at a UPS store. That's like inconvenience to me. I have to reorder the vinyl. That's inconvenient. Like, it would be great because you're not going to be able to resell this. You can't restock that in the store because it's already damaged. Just let me freaking keep it, right? You know, like, for the inconvenience. And I'll still order a new one, but now I'll just have an extra one that I can open and play and whatnot. So part of me really wanted them to be like, just keep it. And I think that sometimes maybe people or buyers on eBay also do that, right? I mean, why not? So I feel like there's the people that are like scammers that are like lying to try to get refunds, and then there's the people that really do want to return it and will return it if they have to, but just kind of are like hoping that you'll just give them the refund. And I feel I don't know for sure, but I feel like that's what this person was doing. So yeah, so she ended up opening the return, and what was so frustrating about it, of course, I knew this was going to happen, but she selected that the item was like missing pieces. And it's like, I don't know if that counts as a defect against me or not. So it's just like, just so frustrating. It's like super frustrating, but and then of course she put in the little, like, you know how you can write something in there when you do a return? They said like, oh yeah, the seller knows I'm not happy. Blah, 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 blah. Like, well, next time, look at the pictures and read the description before you buy something that's old and vintage and has obviously been like used. Like, give it a little bit of extra attention next time before you purchase something, if you're that concerned about it, right? It's just, oh, so frustrated with people. So yeah, so that's what I woke up having to deal with. And I want to know if, I have a question for you guys. Please, somebody answer this question. I like need to know. Okay, so let's say somebody opens a return for something that is over £1. At one point, when eBay would generate that label for them on your behalf and charge you for the label, they would automatically do it for priority mail and not ground. Because now you know how there's that new ground advantage, right? But they automatically would do priority mail. Even if like you shipped it a different way, they will still just automatically send them a priority mail label, which costs more. So I have it set up where I send the buyer the label if they open a return. So then I just go on Pirate Ship and I generate a Ground Advantage label from there, and then I just upload it onto the return. That takes time to do, and it's annoying. Like, I'd rather just let eBay just automatically generate the label, but I don't want to do that if they're going to be choosing priority mail. So do they still do that? Does anybody know? I don't know. And I don't know like an easy way to like look it up. So if someone could just easily just like answer that question for me, like, I would appreciate that so much, because then I'll go back and change it so that eBay will generate the label so that I don't have to do it. But I'm curious. So that was that. Next thing I'm super irritated with. Oh, something sold. Yes, I needed a sale. I don't know what it was that sold, but it's something that sold for $40, so that's great. Yay! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I got a sale. But I just thought of something else that goes back to what I was just talking about. When I do get that return and I do repost that item, I'm going to make sure that I put in the title in all caps somewhere in the title to like either read description or like missing pieces and or something. I should have done that from the beginning. So that's the part of this whole thing that I will take responsibility for. So that is, I normally do that too. I don't know why I didn't do it for this one. I think it was because I needed like all of the characters in the title. So I think, and then I just felt like it was really obvious from the pictures. So I felt like I didn't need to. Lesson learned. Yeah. All right. So going back. So eBay's been doing this thing that's been really frustrating for me. And I want to let you know about this to warn you about it. And I think I've made a video about them doing, I don't think it was this exact thing, but it was something like similar that they were doing that was like really frustrating. I don't know if this just happens to me. It is a glitch in their system, but this glitch could cost you money. So it's something that you should just be aware of. So when I go to send offers, I go to send offers. You know how they give you like a list of items that you're qualified to send offers for? I don't send it to all of the items because some of my items are really, really low price items that are just like listings that have been in there forever. But if I send offers on them on some of these items, I will be like breaking even or possibly even losing money. So I don't want to send offers on them, right? So I just pick and choose. I'll like click on the little boxes and then I'll hit like send offer just on the ones that I selected. And then, you know, when you come back again to send offers again, those ones that you didn't send offers on are still going to be on there because you didn't send offers for them, right? Well, I had gone on to send offers and I saw that all those ones were just gone. And I was thinking the only reason why they should be gone is if an offer was sent on them, and I don't want there to be an offer sent on them. This is weird. I wonder what happened. Like, why aren't they there? Whatever, right? So then I ended up just selecting the items I wanted to send offers for, and then I hit the thing. And then when it came to the page where you like review on there, make sure that, you know, these are the items you want to send the offers on. This is how much they're going to sell for. If they accept the offer, blah, blah, blah. Well, all the items were in there, including the ones I did not select. So there's some sort of glitch going on with eBay where like, it's like sending the offers to all of them, like when you do it in bulk. So just be very careful when you send the offers. Before you send them, do a quick little review because it lets you do that. So just review those items to make sure that everything's right, everything's okay, and there's no glitches on eBay's end, because after you send it, it's going to be really hard to prove otherwise that it was eBay's fault. So there is that. But another thing that I super wanted to vent about, and it's just been something that I've been thinking about a lot lately that has just been like irking me and bothering me. Now, I don't talk too much about promoted listings on this channel, but I've kind of started talking about it more as of recently. Because it's just like, I look at I do my bookkeeping and I'm looking at my numbers and I'm like realizing that like my costs and my expenses are just going up on things. And but at the same time, like my sales are kind of like staying the same, but at the end of the day I'm like making less because like my expenses are going up. Like a business person should be thinking, what is it that I can do to be cutting expenses here? So I've kind of been playing around a little bit with trying to cut back on promoted listings, experimenting with it. I'm realizing that I need to promote. If I don't promote, my sales are gonna tank. And I'm just looking at my numbers and I'm looking at my graphs, and I'm not gonna share all that with you because I'm just not that channel, because I hate that kind of stuff. So I just don't want to put more energy to it. Sorry guys, you just gotta take my word for it. But just looking at all that stuff, like I'm just seeing, okay, I really have to promote. Now, some of you are sitting there and watching, well, Sabrina, no, you don't have to promote. And some of you are even looking at me saying, I don't promote and my sales are just fine. And I get that. And that's the thing though, is that everybody's store is different. There's no store that's created equal. And I understand and respect that not everyone's going to be the same as me, you know? But for me and my store, I have to promote. And realizing that has gotten me to be very irritated, because before I felt like I'm promoting because I want to and this is my choice. But then when I saw how badly everything dropped, I mean, I could understand a little bit, like it dropped a little bit, but how dramatically everything dropped was really an eye-opener for me. And it's really been bothering me, because I just think that it's like, well, what eBay is telling me is that they are going to put on the top of the algorithm all the listings that are willing to give a higher percentage of their profits to are gonna be the ones that go up on the top. And it bothers me, because it's like, well, what about the people on there that are doing all the right things, that have been on eBay forever, that ship their items super quickly, who have great feedback, who answer questions, who do all the right things? Like, you're just gonna let our sales drop because we're not willing to give you more of our profits? And I feel like promoted listings, in my circumstance, I kind of see it as a junk fee. I'd rather just know what I'm paying. So like when you sell on Poshmark or Mercari, it will tell you, if this sells for your asking price, this is how much you're gonna make after fees. But eBay, they make it so hard for you to like really know like what you're gonna make, unless you're like you gotta dig for that information, right? Like, it's just, they don't make it easy. I'm a huge like Disney fan. I love going to Disney. I will never stop going to Disney, no matter what happens, no matter how many times they raise the prices, no matter what they do. I will always be going to Disney because I am obsessed with Disney and it's a part of who I am. But I'm going to say that it's not the same as it used to be. And like, I always think about like how it was like growing up, like in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and even leading up to like 2015, 2016. It was like when you entered those gates, we were all equals. It didn't care who you were, where you're from, what you look like, how much money you make. We were all equals at Disney. And that was just something that like I love so much about it. And there's a lot of other things that were really great about it that's changed, but I want to just talk about like the class division that they've created there now, where before everybody got free fast passes. It didn't matter if you were a season ticket holder, it didn't matter, you know, like which ticket you bought. Like, every ticket came with free fast passes for the day. Like, everyone had an equal chance of getting fast passes, and it was equal. And it was so much better, so much better. And then after Disney reopened after the pandemic, they incorporated, now you have to pay for the fast passes. And not only do you have to pay, but it's like on certain days where it's more crowded, you have to pay more, right? And it's like, it's heart-wrenching for me because that's not what Disneyland was. You know, like, I way rather them just raise the ticket prices and keep it the same. Or even if it was always like this, if you've always had to buy those fast passes, then it wouldn't bother me so much. But the fact that it used to be a certain way and now it's not, is what's making this pill hard to swallow. And same thing with like eBay. It's like we didn't always, it wasn't always necessary to have to promote like this, but I feel like as time goes on, like they're pushing us into more promoting. And it's just like, why does everything always just have to get worse? Like, all right, so I already ended my video and everything, but I came back on here to film a little bit more because I thought of one other thing I wanted to talk about that I wanted to complain about. And then also I had a little bit of an update about that return thing I had going on. All right, so other thing to complain about. What is up with all these extremely low ball offers coming through? Oh my goodness, guys. I mean, I got an offer yesterday for $1 on something. And I don't know what it is, why $5 seems to be a good number, but I have been getting so many people sending me offers for the amount of $5. $5. And that's not just on eBay. That's also been on Poshmark and Mercari. I don't know why people think that like $5 is like a good number to send an offer on. $5. People in the world just don't realize how much work a reseller has to put in. What's going on? What is going on? All right, so I got that out. So the other thing I wanted to tell you, so I reached out to eBay for Business and I told them about the person who opened up that return, claiming that it was missing pieces and it really wasn't. And they had suggested me that I report it. So I went on to eBay and I had reported it. And if eBay sides with me that it was falsely reported, now keep in mind, I do not believe that this person is trying to scam me, is trying to be vindictive or anything. I don't believe that. I believe that they are just, I'm trying to think of a nice word. I don't like to put other people down. I try not to do it, but I just feel like maybe that they've convinced themselves that I'm in the wrong and that they have no responsibility. It doesn't matter that they didn't look at the pictures. It doesn't matter that they didn't read the description. They probably don't think that opening up that return saying that the item was missing pieces would hurt me. I don't think that they're trying to be a bad person, but it really does hurt me. The reason why I reported them wasn't because I'm trying to hurt them. It's because I'm trying to protect my account. Because if eBay sides with me, then I will be refunded up to about $6 in shipping, I think. I don't know. That part's not like that important to me. Rather or not, it really happens, especially since I provided my own label. I don't know if that's the case. And I think I had free returns on that, so I probably won't get $6, but I don't really care. But the things that I care about is that it will protect me if the buyer tries to leave negative feedback. So that was my main concern. If they leave me negative feedback and eBay sides with me, then that will automatically be removed. And there won't be a defect on my account, or it wouldn't count as any sort of defect. So that was the reasoning why I did that. So if someone opens up a false return on you, make sure to go in and report that buyer to protect yourself. But anyways, I think I vented enough. Sorry guys, I actually feel a little bit better. Thank you. Thank you for letting me do that. And thank you for not leaving me negative comments about it below. I hope that everybody has a great week, and never forget that when you thrift upon a star, all your dreams will come true. I'll see you next time. Bye. But experimenting with it